Hello दोस्तों, welcome to our channel Alleviate Labs once again, and I hope you liked the last problem with TLE and everything. So now this is our part 2, and we are going to solve a slightly difficult problem this time. This is 1500 difficulty rating problem. So it's going to be a little bit challenging, but I just want to show you like how the difficulty rises. When the difficulty rises, like how well you can think. And also this is another basic programming implementation problem. So this has nothing to do with array loops or something like that, but it has to do some, like, it has to do something with maths, right? So basically we will try to analyze uh, the maths behind it. We will try to see like how we can make a code faster and better, right, like in the other problem. So let's go through it. Okay, so in the log and subarray, the problem statement is as follows. You are given an integer n and consider the sequence containing the integers 1, 2 through n in increasing order, exactly once. So 1 to n का आपको sequence दिया है, and find the length of the longest subarray in this sequence such that the bitwise end of all the elements in the subarray is positive. Okay, so bitwise and लेना है subarray का. So वो subarray बोल रहा है, it means that if you are looking at subarray, so 1 2 3 4 5 is a subarray, right? 2 3 4 5 6 is a subarray, 3 4 5 6 7 is a subarray, but 1 2 6 7 is not a subarray, it is a subsequence. ठीक है, so that is like something that we need to be continuous होना चाहिए subarray आपका, ठीक है, और उनका जो bitwise and है वो positive होना चाहिए. So that's the condition that he wants to impose, और हमें एक ऐसा subarray निकालना है जो कि positive है और उनका बिटवाइज एंड जो है वो बेसिकली पॉजिटिव है और मैक्सिमम लेंथ का हो, राइट. इनपुट फॉर्मेट में आपको फर्स्ट लाइन कंटेन्स टी denoting the number of test cases, then the test cases follows. Each test case contains a single integer n on a single line, okay, and for each test case output a single line in the length of the longest subarray that satisfy the given property. Okay, that is fine. As you can see, like t's are from 1 to 10 to the power 5 and n is from 1 to 10 to the power 9. Okay, and आपके ओरिजिनल कंट्रेंट्स के आपको 100 पॉइंट्स मिलेंगे, एंड इसमें आपका टाइम लिमिट आ रहा है 1 सेकेंड का. ठीक है, तो इसका एक सीधा सा सॉल्यूशन ये निकलता है कि अपन क्या करें. अगर अपन बहुत ही बेसिक टर्म्स में सोचें तो अपन एक एरे लेके चलते हैं, ठीक है, अपन सॉल्यूशन को बिल्ड करते हैं, राइट. तो जैसे अगर मुझे 1 से n के अंदर एक ऐसी सब एरे निकालनी है जिसका कि लेंथ मैक्सिमम हो और जो कि बिटवाइज एंड करने पे पॉजिटिव है एलिमेंट्स को, तो उसके लिए मैं क्या करूँगा, मैं स्टार्ट करता हूँ एक एलिमेंट से और मैं उसमें जब तक नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट्स का बिटवाइज एंड करता रहूँगा जब तक कि मेरा बिटवाइज एंड करने पे जो वैल्यू है वो पॉजिटिव आ रही है. अगर मेरी वैल्यू ज़ीरो हो जाती है, नेगेटिव तो नहीं हो सकती क्योंकि आप पॉजिटिव इंटीजर्स को ही कर रहे हो, तो जैसे ही आपकी वैल्यू ज़ीरो हो जाती है तब मैं एक नया सब एरे स्टार्ट कर दूँगा. और फिर क्योंकि अपने को ये मालूम है कि बिटवाइज एंड जो है, राइट, बिटवाइज एंड क्या है, बिटवाइज एंड है बेसिकली आपका बाइनरी डिजिट्स के अंदर अगर आप नंबर को बाइनरी डिजिट्स में लिखो और उनकी बिट्स को लो, तो जिन जिन बिट्स के ऊपर दोनों नंबर के अंदर, जैसे मैं दो नंबर लेता हूँ ए और बी और मैं उन दोनों का बिटवाइज एंड कर रहा हूँ, तो ए और बी के जो बाइनरी फॉर्मेट होगा, बाइनरी जो नंबर्स होंगे उनके बाइनरी फॉर्म में, उसमें ith डिजिट के ऊपर अगर दोनों के अंदर 1 है तो बिटवाइज एंड का ऑपरेशन का आउटपुट जो आएगा उसमें ith डिजिट के ऊपर जो नंबर बनेगा उसमें ith डिजिट के ऊपर जो वैल्यू होगी बाइनरी डिजिट की वो वैल्यू 1 होगी, अदरवाइज 0 होगी, राइट. सो बेसिकली दैट इज़ व्हाट बिटवाइज एंड डज. तो हमें ये मालूम है कि बिटवाइज एंड अगर इस डेफिनेशन से मैं चलता हूँ तो बिटवाइज एंड अगर मैं 0 के साथ किसी का भी करूँगा तो मुझे 0 मिलेगा, राइट. तो अगर मैं 1 से n पे चल रहा हूँ और मैंने 1 को पहले कंसिडर किया, ठीक है, फिर मैंने 1 में 2 को एंड किया, तो 1 में 2 को एंड किया तो 0 मिल गया. इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि अब 1 पे 1 की जो एरे है, 1 से अगर मैं कोई एक सब एरे बना सकता हूँ तो वो एक ही लेंथ की हो सकती है और उसमें केवल 1 इंक्लूडेड होगा. उसके बाद मैं 1 के बाद अगर 2 3 4 5 6 7 इन सबको इंक्लूड करने की कोशिश करूँगा तो मुझे 0 ही मिलेगा क्योंकि 1 जो है वो 2 के साथ एंड होकर 0 दे देगा और वो 0 जैसे ही बन जाएगा फिर उसके बाद मैं कितने ही नंबर उसके अंदर एंड करता रहूँ मुझे 0 ही मिलने वाला है, राइट. तो बेसिकली द सॉल्यूशन जो है बहुत नई फॉर्म में ये है कि लाइक यू कीप अ ट्रैक ऑफ योर करेंट एरे, राइट, वेयर यू आर एक्चुअली डूइंग द बिटवाइज एंड, यू कीप ट्रैक ऑफ इट्स लेंथ कि हाँ भाई मैंने इतने एलिमेंट्स अभी इसके अंदर डाल दिए हैं और अभी भी मेरा सम पॉजिटिव है. जैसे ही मेरा सम 0 हो जाएगा तो आई विल स्टार्ट अ न्यू एरे, न्यू सब एरे, एंड बेसिकली मैं वहाँ पे फिर काउंटिंग स्टार्ट कर दूंगा। तो जैसे ही 1 का 2 के साथ एंड करने पे 0 हो गया, तो फिर मैं 2 से एक नई एरे स्टार्ट करूँगा, फिर मैं 2 में 3 डालूंगा, फिर जैसे ही 4 डाला तो 0 हो गया, तो मतलब मैं 4 से एक नई सब एरे स्टार्ट करूँगा, सो फोर्थ एंड सो ऑन। ठीक है, एंड बेसिकली आई विल काउंट द मैक्सिमम लेंथ थ्रू दैट। सो लेट्स सी हाउ वी कैन राइट दिस। तो पहले अपन एक टी टेस्ट केसेस के लिए एक टी वेरिएबल ले लेंगे। ठीक है, और फिर अपना एक एज यूजुअल जो ओरिजिनल लूप था वाइल टी माइनस माइनस, देन अपने को एन दिया हुआ है तो एन ले लेंगे। ठीक है, अब मुझे क्या करना है, अब मुझे एक लूप चलाना है आई इज इक्वल्स टू 1 से एन तक का, और इसके अंदर मुझे सबसे पहले तो बिटवाइज ऑपरेशन का जो रिज़ल्ट है वो रखना है। तो करेंट बिटवाइज रिज़ल्ट मैं एक वेरिएबल रख लेता हूँ। देन आई विल हैव अनदर वेरिएबल विच आई विल कॉल एज करेंट लेंथ, और इसको मैं ज़ीरो कर देता हूँ, और एक हो गई मैक्सिमम लेंथ विच को भी मैं ज़ीरो कर देता हूँ। द क्वेश्चन इज़ दैट कि अगर अभी जो मेरा बिटवाइज ऑपरेशन का जो रिज़ल्ट है वो अगर मेरा आई के साथ एंड करने पे पॉजिटिव आता है, ओके, या तो वो पॉजिटिव होगा या फिर ज़ीरो होगा। ठीक है, क्योंकि आप पॉजिटिव नंबर का बिटवाइज एंड कर रहे हो। तो यहाँ पर या तो अगर मैं करेंट बिटवाइज रिज़ल्ट को आई के साथ एंड करता हूँ और मुझे वैल्यू पॉजिटिव मिलती है, इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि जो अभी मेरी कंसिडरेशन में जो मेरी सब एरे है उसकी लेंथ को मैं 1 से बढ़ा सकता हूँ। ठीक है, तो मैं उसकी लेंथ को 1 से बढ़ा दूँगा, क्योंकि इसके अंदर मेरे को एक बेटर सॉल्यूशन मिल गया। ठीक है, और मैं इस रिज़ल्ट को भी अपडेट कर दूँगा। ठीक है, अदरवाइज़ वो आई के साथ एंड करते ही ज़ीरो हो गया। इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि जो मेरी करंट सब एरे थी उससे पहले के जो भी एलिमेंट्स थे वो सारे एलिमेंट्स को आई के साथ एंड करूँगा तो हमेशा ज़ीरो ही मिलेगा मुझे। इसका मतलब ये हो गया कि बेसिकली आई शुड स्टार्ट नाउ न्यू सब एरे। तो बेसिकली व्हाट आई विल डू इज़ आई विल सेट माई करेंट लेंथ टू 1 और करेंट बिटवाइज रिजल्ट को मैं आई कर दूँगा। इसके बाद जो मेरी मैक्सिमम लेंथ होगी दैट आई विल कीप एज मैक्सिमम लेंथ कॉमा करेंट बिटवाइज रिजल्ट, सॉरी करेंट लेंथ। ठीक है, एंड आई विल आउटपुट मैक्सिमम। ठीक है, सो दिस वे आई हैव अ बिग ऑफ एन लूप, जिसमें कि बेसिकली मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, मैं सब एरे को कंसिडर करते जा रहा हूँ जब तक कि उसका रिज़ल्ट पॉजिटिव है। जैसे ही मेरी सब एरे का रिज़ल्ट ज़ीरो हो जाता है तो आई स्टार्ट अ न्यू सब एरे एंड बेसिकली उसके अंदर मैं ऐड करता हूँ। तो बेसिकली मेरे को बहुत सारी, एक तरीके से अगर मैं देखूँ तो 1 से n के अंदर मैंने इस बिग साइज़ एरे को मैंने बहुत सारे सब एरेज़ में चंक कर दिया है, और उन सब एरेज़ के लेंथ के ऊपर मैं बेसिकली इटरेट करके निकाल रहा हूँ कि कौन सी सब एरे मेरी मैक्सिमम लेंथ की है। ठीक है, सो नाउ लेट्स रन दिस। Okay, so our output is correct 1 1 2 2 4 for the sample test case. Now let's submit it. But before jumping into the problem, like solution, जिन भी लोगों को ऐसा लगता है कि ये सॉल्यूशन सही है और ये सॉल्यूशन करेक्ट रिजल्ट देगा, तो बेसिकली वाई डू यू थिंक कि ये सॉल्यूशन सही रिजल्ट देगा और ये सही से वर्क कर जाएगा, कुछ एरर नहीं आएगा? ठीक है, पहली चीज़ तो वो आपको सोचनी है। तो आप वीडियो पॉज करो, एक बार कोड को एनालाइज़ करो, प्रॉब्लम के कंस्ट्रेंट्स को एनालाइज़ करो और देखो कि क्या कहीं कुछ सॉल्यूशन में इशू है क्या। अगर इशू है और इशू क्या है, अगर क्या उस इशू को आप रिजॉल्व कर सकते हो क्या, तो उस इशू को सबसे पहले फिगर आउट करना है एक टास्क। सो फर्स्ट यू फिगर आउट द इशू, एंड दोज हु थिंक कि देयर इज़ नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम और दोज हु डू नॉट वांट टू सॉल्व इट, enjoy the show. Just wait till the submission is queued. After that we will know definitely the answer. Yes, so it is running test cases now. And as you can see, it has given us time limit exceeded. So why it is the case, right? So those who have guessed correct, yes, it won't work. You are correct, you are on the right track. So the problem with this is that the constraints. So as we solved in our last problem, we saw a 10 to the power 13 loop or 10 to the power 13 iterations, right? And that did not work. That actually resulted into a TLE. Same case here. So basically what will happen, what will end up happening is this is 10 to the power 14 loop. So in this case, basically this is 10 to the power 5 and this is 10 to the power 9. So overall you are doing 10 to the power 14 iterations, and that won't work. Okay, and you have to sort of, you cannot break it out or something, do that to basically, because you need to find out the maximum size subarray. So right now we are not sure where it can be, right? But now the problem comes is, how do we optimize this? Okay, so as in our last problem, what we did was we analyzed the if condition. We analyze whether s minus n is positive, s minus n is negative, and based on that we basically derived a logic. Similarly, we will do here. What we will do is, we have this if else condition, and let's try to analyze it. So what I will do is, I will take this piece of code and copy into my favorite IDE, Cilian. Yeah. Okay. So here is the code. I have pasted it into Cilian, and I want to analyze like when actually these AND operations, or when actually these subarray result actually becomes 0. So what I will do is, I will see out becoming 0 at I, and now I will analyze this. So I will just input one test case with 10,000, and as you can see, the output is 4096, and these are the values at which it is becoming 0. And interestingly enough, these are the power of 2's. But why it is becoming 0 at power of 2? So if you look at it more carefully, so let's look at the binary of 1, that is 0 1, binary of 2 is 1 0, 3 is 1 1, 4 is 1 0 0. So what is happening at each power of 2 is that basically the most significant bit is this one, which is 1. So for 2, at second position it is 1, and rest all are zeros. At 4, only the third position is 1, and rest all are zeros. So basically what we are seeing is that if we AND any of these numbers 1 2 3 to 4, these only has ones in their first two bits, right? And 4 has basically 1 at the third bit. So all of these numbers, if we do AND with 4, these are going to become 0. So any 2 to the power k, if you are going to AND it with any number which is less than 2 to the power k and greater than 0, then that is going to become 0. So that is our observation, and that is a very finest observation which is coming from this if else as well. Okay, now look at any number which is, let's say, slightly greater than 2 to the power k. For example, 129, 257, 513, 1025, right? So let's look at 513. So for 513, this number is basically having 256 to 512, which is roughly 256 values we are looking at. So the subarray, if we take the subarray 256 to 511, that is the largest subarray which has a positive value, because otherwise if you do AND it with 512, then basically that will become 0. But 256 to 511, that is the largest subarray which is positive, which has the result positive, the bitwise AND result is positive, and all the subarray which are positive, like for example 2 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 15, 16 to 31. These are also the subarrays in this 1 to n, but these are smallest. These are smaller, right? These are not as big as 256 to 511. So what we are looking at is the number, the power of 2, which is just less than the value n, less than or equals to the value n. So 513, this would work. But what about, let's say if you are talking about 124, if we take 1700, so 1700 lies between 1024 and 2048. Now the subarray 512 to 1023 contains 512 elements, so that subarray has a positive value and its length is 512. But from 1024 to 1700 there are roughly 600 elements, right? So those 600 elements are basically has the larger size. So the problem boils down to this: we want to find the larger of the values from 2 to the power k, which is just less than equals to n. So we want to first find out the 2 to the power k, which is just less than equals to n, and we want to find out n minus 2 to the power k plus 1, since we want to include both. So for example 1700, we want to find out 1700 minus 1024 plus 1, because we want to include 1700 as well and 1024 as well. We want to find out this value, and we want to find out whether there is a value, let's say 1024 by so there are 512 to 1023, right? So basically we want to find out 512, which is basically nothing but 2 to the power k by 2, right? So that whatever is the larger of them, that will be our solution, right? So how we arrive at this? Basically we arrive at by examining where this result is becoming 0, and basically we are only considering the arrays. So now we see the arrays very intuitively, that the arrays will be 1, then 2 to 3, then 4 to 7, then 8 to 15, then 16 to 31. These are the subarrays we are looking at, and basically we want to examine like which subarray out of these for a given n can have the maximum value. So the given n, these can be the maximum value. So first we need to find out this 2 to the power k, which is just less than equals to n. So let's start it. Okay, so I will write down a function int power int val int n. Okay, and I will call this as 2 to the power k, or power of 2. Okay, now if this power of 2 is equals to n, in that case there could be two values. Either the power of 2 that we are looking at the right now, either it can be equals to n, it can be less than n, or it can be greater than n. These are the three conditions, right? So if power of 2 is double equals to n, so in this function I will try to find the power of 2 which is less than equals to n, and also I will try to figure, and once it finds that value, it will return the solution. So once power of 2 is equals to n, it means that basically you have the input is basically these values 256. So in these values we know that the answer will be 128 to 255, or in case of 512 the answer will be 256 to 511. So basically your answer will be n minus power of 2 by 2, right? Similarly, in case of if power of 2 is greater than n, okay, so that means that you have just crossed this boundary. So we will assume that we are examining each power, so we will just multiply with each power of 2. So first we are at 1, then 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, and let's say our number was 31. So as soon as we reach 32, we will know that power of 2 has crossed n. So in this case basically power of 2 is just crossed n. That's what we are assuming. So in that case what we need to return is maximum of two cases. What are those two cases? The two cases are these, right? So n minus 2 to the power k plus 1, which means n minus, so what is the power of 2 which is less than n? That is basically power of 2 by 2, because the last power was lesser and this power is now greater. So basically the last power is what we are actually considering, right? So that is the value. And then there is another case. That case is basically this 128. So you are at, let's say, 255, n is 255, so you have considered 128 to 255, n is 255, you have considered 256 by 2 128, so that value, and now you want to consider 64 to 128, so that will be, this is 2 to the power k power of 2 by 2, and these many values, 64 values will be present, so that will be power of 2 by 4, right? Or else the power of 2 is less than equals to n, so basically you have not yet crossed the barrier n or reached the barrier n. So in that case what we will do is we will just recursively call our solution for whatever is the power of 2, multiplied it by 2 and the value n. Okay, and now we can get rid of this loop, even these variables. We will just call this with 1 comma n. So in case of, let's say, n is equals to 2 and power of n1, basically what will happen is n is equals to 2, it will come here, so 1 is not equals to 2, 1 is definitely less than 2, so it will go here, it will have 2 comma 2 in the second loops, it will iterate, then it will have 2 minus 2 by 2, which is 1, so basically it will return 1, and which is the correct answer, right? So all those cases are handled, so let's just run it. So basically this is giving us the correct output. Now what is the time complexity for this function? The time complexity is log n, right? In terms of its input, the time complexity is log n, because you are just multiplying the first power till with 2 till you reach n or cross n. So in that case basically your output you will return successfully in log n iterations, and basically you have this t, so in log n basically you are returning, and log n is log n of 10 to the power 9 is very small, right? So basically you should be passing this in 1 second. Which is the correct answer. So as you see, with these two problems, what we try to solve was, we try to first look at what is the what are the ways to first solve the problem, like basically the basic code. Then we try to examine the if condition that we put. So basically in the first problem we try to see like whether s minus n is positive or negative. So we were analyzing our code, we were seeing if there can be a pattern. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to examine the boundaries, right? Basically in this case as well, basically we were trying to examine the power of 2's, which was the boundary for the end operation result to become 0, and from that basically we build our logic. So this is going to be the case for most of the problems. You will have to sort of write the code, the basic code, and then basically you will have to read your code thoroughly, okay, as like a third person view or a third eye view, where basically you will be watching your code, trying to understand it from a different perspective, and then see where it went wrong, right, or where you could optimize better. So right now these problems are small, and so figuring out this is easy, but as the problem difficulty goes higher and higher, we will have to we will have multiple sections in our code, and we will try to optimize all of the sections. So there it becomes hard to see like where the if condition can happen, and you have to correlate the multiple pieces of your code as well. So as we practice, we get habitual to think like, okay, this is the case. So right now we are examining or building it up from scratch, okay, from our base logic, but later on we will not we will try avoiding writing this base logic. We will just directly see the problem and try to figure out like the best way to solve it, okay, or at least a way which is better, okay, not just the case which will give TLE, because we knew that it would give TLE as soon as we saw 10 to the power 9 and 10 to the power 5, that we cannot have a loop of 10 to the power 9, right? So with that, I hope you really like the problem and you enjoyed it. And since we are at 1500 problem right now, but there are bunch of problem between 1200 to 1500 which are there for you to solve. So if you really want to improve yourself and want to enjoy the series going forward, try to solve all those 1100 and 1500 problems between them. We will be available for doubts in few coming weeks, so try to solve them. Try to post any problem which you might facing any difficulty in terms of understanding its solutions, or basically if you are not able to get it correct, or like why it is a wrong answer. So we are there to help you. Okay, with that I'm going to say, do solve these problems. Don't just sit and enjoy the show. Basically the videos are the content is going to be good and going to get better, but if you are not solving on yourself with by yourself, then basically you won't be getting any better. So try solve it on your own, and watch the series completely to better grasp the uh, concepts, and with that, and to say goodbye. Thank you for watching Elevate Labs.